Not the tense silence before championship point. Not the respectful silence between serves. This was different. It was the kind of silence that comes when thousands of people are trying to process what they have just witnessed. The scoreboard told a simple story. Jasmine Paolini had won. Alex Eala's unforgettable Wimbledon journey was over. But then something happened that no scoreboard could explain. Instead of walking straight toward the tunnel, the 21-year-old Filipina stopped. She turned toward every corner of center court, smiled through the disappointment, and raised both hands high above her head. Slowly, she formed a heart with her fingers. In an instant, the stadium erupted. The applause wasn't polite. It was emotional. Fans rose to their feet, waving Philippine flags and chanting her name as if she had just won the match instead of losing it. For nearly 2 weeks, Alex Eala had become the heartbeat of Wimbledon. Every time she stepped onto the court, the atmosphere changed. Crowds arrived early just to secure a seat. Children waited patiently with tennis balls and caps, hoping for an autograph. Families traveled thousands of miles, simply to watch history unfold. And Eala never disappointed them. Win or lose, she stayed after every match, signing autographs, taking photos, and thanking supporters one by one. Long after the television cameras stopped rolling, she was still there, smiling, talking, and giving back to the people who believed in her. That simple gesture transformed casual spectators into lifelong fans. Her connection with the crowd wasn't created by marketing. It was genuine. When Wimbledon began, Alex Eala was viewed as one of many promising young players trying to make a breakthrough. By the second week, she had become one of the biggest stories in the entire tournament. Her fearless victory over one of the world's top players shocked the tennis world. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know more about the young woman representing the Philippines with such confidence and composure. Social media exploded. Highlight clips spread across the globe within hours. News outlets that had barely mentioned her before were now leading with her story. But perhaps the most remarkable transformation happened inside the All England club itself. The famous Wimbledon crowd, known for its tradition and restraint, embraced Alex Eala with extraordinary warmth. Every winner she hit was celebrated. Every comeback was cheered. Every fight she showed earned even greater respect. By the time she walked onto center court for the biggest match of her career, it no longer felt like she was playing as an underdog. She belonged. And even though the match didn't end the way she had hoped, something far more important had already happened. She had won the admiration of tennis fans around the world. Sometimes, a tournament is remembered for the champion. Other times, it's remembered for the player who captured everyone's imagination. As Alex Eala left center court to one final standing ovation, one question echoed across the tennis world. Was this simply the end of an unforgettable Wimbledon run? By the time Alex Eala stepped onto center court for her round of 16 clash, the atmosphere felt more like a championship final than an early knockout match. Thousands of spectators had arrived hours before the first serve. Philippine flags waved proudly throughout the stands. Every available seat was filled, while countless fans watched from screens around the Wimbledon grounds, hoping to witness another chapter in Eala's incredible journey. Standing across the net was Jasmine Paolini, an experienced Grand Slam finalist, a proven competitor on the biggest stages, and a player who understood exactly how difficult this challenge would be. From the opening game, both women exchanged powerful rallies that brought the crowd to life. Every point was fiercely contested. Every winner sparked loud applause. The intensity never faded. Paolini used her experience to claim the opening set, forcing Eala to dig even deeper. Many young players would have struggled after losing the first set on center court. Alex Eala responded differently. She fought for every ball. She chased down impossible shots. She refused to let the moment become bigger than her. With remarkable composure, she found her rhythm once again and battled back to level the match, sending the crowd into another eruption of cheers. For a brief moment, it seemed anything was possible. Every point in the deciding set carried enormous tension. Neither player wanted to blink first. But championship experience eventually made the difference. Paolini remained calm during the crucial moments, capitalizing on a few costly errors to pull ahead and close out the match after more than 2 hours of unforgettable tennis. The scoreboard showed a victory for Paolini, yet something unusual happened immediately afterward. Instead of leaving quietly, thousands of fans stood and applauded Alex Eala. The ovation lasted far longer than anyone expected. It wasn't sympathy, it was appreciation. The crowd understood they had witnessed more than a tennis match. They had watched the arrival of one of the sport's brightest young stars. As Eala thanked the spectators with a smile and a heart-shaped gesture, the applause grew even louder. It was a simple moment, but it perfectly captured the relationship she had built with Wimbledon over the previous 2 weeks. She hadn't just earned victories. She had earned respect. Across social media, clips of the emotional farewell spread rapidly. Fans praised her fighting spirit. Former players applauded her maturity. Media outlets around the world described her Wimbledon campaign as one of the tournament's defining stories. For the Philippines, the pride was impossible to measure. Millions had followed every point. Millions celebrated every victory. And although the journey ended before the quarterfinals, it never felt like a disappointment. It felt like the beginning of something much bigger. Because sometimes, success isn't defined by how long you stay in a tournament. It's defined by how many people believe in you when you leave. For Alex Eala, Wimbledon 2026 wasn't the finish line. It was the moment the entire tennis world finally learned her name. When the applause finally faded, Alex Eala paused one last time before disappearing into the tunnel beneath center court. She hadn't won the match. She hadn't reached the Wimbledon quarterfinals. But somehow, it felt like she had won something even bigger. She had won the hearts of millions. Across the Philippines, fans who had stayed awake through the early morning hours applauded from their homes, restaurants, shopping malls, and public viewing events. Social media filled with messages of pride instead of disappointment. The result no longer mattered. The journey did. For decades, the Philippines had dreamed of producing a tennis player capable of competing with the world's best. That dream had often seemed impossible in a sport dominated by nations with far greater resources and deeper traditions. Alex Eala changed that perception. She proved that talent, determination, and relentless hard work could overcome expectations. Her Wimbledon campaign wasn't just another impressive tournament run. It became a symbol of possibility. Young boys and girls across the country suddenly saw tennis differently. Local coaches spoke about increased interest in junior programs. Parents who had never followed the sport before began searching for tennis clubs and lessons for their children. One remarkable fortnight had sparked a movement. That is the true power of sport. Not simply creating champions, creating inspiration. Even tennis legends took notice. Current stars praised her fearless style of play, while former champions highlighted her composure under pressure. Analysts described her as one of the brightest young talents in women's tennis, capable of challenging the game's biggest names for years to come. Yet Alex Eala remained remarkably grounded. After the match, she didn't make excuses. She didn't blame the pressure or the occasion. Instead, she spoke honestly about learning, improving, and returning stronger. That mindset may be her greatest strength. Because every great champion has faced painful defeats before lifting the biggest trophies. Losses become lessons. Lessons become experience. Experience becomes confidence. And confidence wins championships. As the tennis calendar shifted toward the North American hardcourt season, excitement around Eala continued to grow. Fans eagerly anticipated her next appearance. Could she build on her Wimbledon breakthrough? Could she challenge for even bigger titles? Could she become the first Filipina to win a Grand Slam singles championship? Those questions no longer sounded impossible. For the first time, they sounded realistic. Her Wimbledon journey had changed expectations, not only for herself, but for an entire generation of aspiring athletes. She had shown that the road from Manila to center court wasn't a fantasy. It was real. And if one young woman could inspire millions before reaching the peak of her career, imagine what might happen when she gets there. Because Alex Eala's story isn't defined by one tournament. It's defined by what comes next. The victories, the setbacks, the growth. the championships she will chase. One remarkable Wimbledon introduced her to the world. The next chapter will determine just how far she can go. And judging by everything we've seen so far, this is only the beginning. As Wimbledon crowned its champions and the famous grass court slowly emptied, one name continued to dominate conversations long after the final trophy had been lifted. Not because she had won the title, but because she had captured the imagination of the tennis world. Alex Eala left London without a championship, yet her impact reached far beyond the tournament itself. Sports analysts began discussing her future with growing excitement. Television networks replayed her biggest moments. Newspapers called her one of the breakout stars of the championships, while fans flooded social media with messages predicting that her first Grand Slam title was only a matter of time. For many, Wimbledon wasn't the end of Eala's story. It was the introduction. Her performances had shown that she could compete with the very best players in the world. More importantly, she had demonstrated something that cannot be taught: an ability to thrive under pressure while embracing the biggest moments instead of fearing them. That quality separates good players from future champions. Every tournament creates heroes. Very few create global stars. Alex Eala was beginning to look like one of them. Back in the Philippines, the excitement continued to grow. Tennis academies reported increased interest from young players. Coaches spoke about a new generation inspired by Eala's success, believing that international tennis was no longer an impossible dream. The ripple effect had already begun. One remarkable Wimbledon campaign had inspired thousands of children to pick up a racket for the first time. That may become one of Eala's greatest achievements. Not just winning matches, but changing lives. Of course, the road ahead will not be easy. Every opponent now knows her name. Every tournament will bring greater expectations. There will be difficult defeats, injuries, and moments of doubt. That is the reality of professional tennis. But every champion faces those challenges. The difference lies in how they respond. If Wimbledon revealed anything about Alex Eala, it is that she never stops fighting. She competes with courage. She carries herself with humility. And she understands that every setback is another opportunity to grow. Now the tour moves to the hard courts of North America, where another opportunity awaits. New opponents, new challenges, new dreams. Fans around the world will once again be watching, eager to see whether her Wimbledon breakthrough was the start of something truly special. Because momentum is a powerful force in sport. Confidence grows with every big match. Experience grows with every difficult loss. And champions are often built long before they lift their first major trophy. Alex Eala has already taken the first steps on that journey. The tennis world is watching more closely than ever before. The expectations are higher. The spotlight is brighter. But if her Wimbledon run proved anything, it's this: she belongs on the biggest stages in tennis. And if she continues to grow at the pace we've witnessed, it may not be long before the standing ovations celebrate not just an unforgettable performance, but a Grand Slam champion. The story is far from over. In many ways, it has only just begun, or the beginning of tennis' next global superstar.